Hello my dear students. In this class we are going to discuss about do while loop. As you are all aware of what is looping is, and we have seen what is an while loop, now we are going to see how we can able to utilize do while loop. The statement of do while loop follows a post condition evaluation, where you can see the condition is getting evaluated upon the after the execution of the statements. So here the statements will get executed first, then later on the condition is going to check. In this regard we can assure like the statement is going to be executed at least once, even though the condition is either true or false. We are going to check this with an example. So as we are aware of like while loop, how while loop do work in a very similar way, the do while do work. Here let us analyze. This is the program for while loop. Now do while is called as an exit control loop, where the condition is going to be tested after each iteration to decide whether to continue with the next iteration or to terminate the loop. Condition is verified at the end of the loop. Syntax: first we'll write the statements inside of a do block, then we write a conditions here. So in this case the while condition is written, you can able to observe like we have written semicolon here, and this is a general syntax we need to follow. So these statements will get executed until the condition is true. Let us see the syntax of this. First we are going to initialize a loop control variable, then the body of the loop, then the updation will happen, then we are going to check the condition. If the condition is true, then this block is going to repeat the do block, otherwise it will come out of this particular while loop once it's false. Let us see an example. In this we are initializing a loop control variable I equal to 1, and it comes inside of a loop and it prints hello, and increment the value of I by 1, it become 2, which is 2 is less than or equal to 3, hence it prints hello for the second time when it enters into the loop. Similarly it becomes 3 and it's less than or equal, it is equal to 3, hence the condition is true, hence again the loop will get iterate and it prints the hello for third time. So this is an exit control loop. Now let us try to understand the difference between a while and a do while loop. In both the cases you can able to observe like the hello is going to print for 3 times. The only difference is while is written before, whereas the while is written at the end. That is, the condition is checked later, which is also called as an post test. So let us try to see this. If the condition fails, then what happened is, in this case you can try to understand, we took the initial value of I as 100, which is 100 is actually greater than 3, so hence the condition fails here, so it directly exit out of this, so hence will not get any output basically. But if you try to understand in this case that first we are not, as we are not checking the condition, so hence it come inside and it first print the statement called as an hello, then a new line will get added, then it checks the condition which is 100 is not less than of 3, so that's the reason it falls. When it falls, it exits from the while loop, that is the do while loop. So hence, if you try to understand, this is getting executed at least once, because we are first trying to execute the statements. So that's the major difference between a while and a do while. Whereas a do while is trying to execute the statements at least once. So what is looping? Let's the different types of loopings. This you need to answer. Explain the while loop with an example. Give the differences between a while and a do while loop. The major difference is that while condition is false, it exit out of this, whereas whether the condition is false or true, it will execute at least once. So here the summary is the importance of loop in any programming language, that they allow us to reduce the number of lines in a code and make our code more readable and efficient. This is the major advantage of using a loop, sir. We can make a set of statements to execute the program repeatedly. So either if we use entry control or exit control, both do the same thing as we have observed. But the major difference is the while executes 0 or more times, whereas your do while executes 1 or more time. Let us see this with the help of example. Let us try to write a program for checking whether a given number is perfect or not. So as you are aware, a perfect number is one where the sum of those factors are leading to the same number is called as a perfect number. I wrote a program on this. Let us try to understand. So first we are taking some variables n to read the value of the number to which we are going to find out whether it's a perfect or not. Enter a number to find is it perfect or not. So when the user enter a number, we are going to check that whether the number is divisible by 1 till we reach that number. If we are going to, if the number is going to divide with numbers, then we call them as factors. So we are making the summation of those factors in one variable called sum. So sum plus equal to the divided, that is a divisor. So here the counter is acting like a divisor. So hence all those summations we are storing into sum, and it's going to repeat till that counter is less than n. So here you can able to observe like this counter is the initialization, and here we are going to update the counter value, and this is a counter is acting like a loop control variable here. So once the sum is equal to the given value, then we can say that it's a perfect number, else we can say it's not a perfect number. Now as well we are trying to print the factors such that we can able to check whether that number is actually a perfect number or not while adding those summation of the factors. Let us try to run this. Let me compile and run this. /a.out is the command to run. Let us take a number 6. So the factors of 6 are 1, 2 and 3. If you're going to add this like 3 plus 2 plus 1, then it's going to lead the same number called as 6. Hence we are calling it as a perfect number. Let us see 15. So 5 plus 3 plus 1 is 9. So hence it's not a perfect number. So we can able to observe like the loop which we have wrote here is an exit control loop, which is a do while loop. Same program we already did with the help of a while loop. So hence this is the conclusion. Thank you for your listening.